For the cheapest coins with fast delivery and quick customer support, check out my sponsor, Red Zone Coins, and use code SWIFT at checkout for 20% off.
Social family, and today I'm coming back at you guys with another Madden 20 video on the channel, and in today's video I've got a free training method to share with you guys. This one can make you around 45,000 training points in only a few minutes, and I'm really excited to get into the explanation and show off how this method works. But before I do, if you guys are enjoying these videos on the channel, everyone be sure to leave a like down below. That's the best way to support me. Let's see if we can hit 500 likes in the first hour. Notification squad, and those of you that are on the videos early, put in some work down below on the like button. And if you were in the stream last night, all I want to see in the comment section is Bruce Smith. Comment that in the comment section if you were in the stream last night. And without further ado, let's hop into how this method works. So essentially how this method works are there's 3 steps to the process. It's relatively simple, but to start with, you're going to want to buy a 97 overall Theme Builder 2 player, and you're going to want to get the card at around 60,000 coins. Now there's quite a few of them up for 60k. I personally bought one off camera right before the video started just so we didn't have to take too long sniping, but all you're going to really want to do is head on to 96 to 97, filter it down by Theme Builders 2, and then you're just going to refresh here until you see one pop up at 60,000 coins. It's not going to take you that long, and that's essentially the first step of the method. Now once you have your 97 overall Theme Builder 2, you're going to want to quick sell him, and when you quick sell the card, you're going to get 48,300 training points. As you guys can see right here, I was able to get this Earl Thomas off camera for around 60,000 coins. I paid a little bit more for some of the other cards when I was just doing this method in my spare time, but I did get the Earl Thomas right before I recorded this video at 60,000 coins, and then I ended up quick selling him for 48,300 training points. Now essentially where the method comes in is in step number 2, and step number 2 is when you're going to navigate to the training currency of the store, and we're going to start to convert that 48,300 training back to coins. Now essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to use trading and convert it back to coins until we get to our initial coin investment of 60,000, and once you've converted enough trading back to coins that you make your 60k, then you're basically going to have totally paid for that card, and you're going to have tons and tons of leftover trading. In fact, you should be ending up with around, most of the time, about 40,000 to 45,000 trading absolutely free. Now the way we're going to convert this trading back to coins is by using a ton of these packs in here. Now the Color Rush Fantasy Pack is a pretty solid one. The Uniform Fantasy Pack is pretty good. The Coaches one, the Stadiums one, and both of these Playbooks one are all going to be pretty lucrative. Now essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into the auction house right here and try and find some of these cards. Now out of these 6 packs, we want to find some cards that are in here which we can sell for 3,000 coins or more on the auction house. That's essentially what I'm targeting when I'm opening up these packs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look on the auction house and see how many of these cards are selling for 3k or more, and when I find a card that sells for 3,000 coins or more, we're going to write it down, because essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and open up one of these packs and select that card that we found going for 3k or more in order to start converting some of the training that we bought back to coins in order to be left over with a little bit of free training. So let's start it off by heading into the auction block right here, and we're going to take a look and see if the coaches, the uniforms, the playbooks, if any of those are expensive right now. Usually I've been able to find some pretty solid success when it comes to coaches and stadiums. The reason for that is people are starting to build a lot of theme teams, and it's important that you have a gold stadium when you're building your theme team, because you can get some additional chemistry boost. So let's take a look at some of these coaches and see how expensive they're going to be selling for. I'm going to take a look at some of the most popular theme teams to build, just to take a look at their prices. So starting it off with the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan selling at 2.5k. I would write that down. We could end up getting him from the pack, because again, it is going to be a fantasy pack, so you can select any card that you want. Let's take a look at the Ravens right here. John Harbaugh seems to be selling at around 7k, so I would definitely do that one. And you just want to look at these teams which people could be building theme teams of. Andy Reid right here selling at 3.9 thousand coins. Definitely a pretty solid opportunity. Let's take a look at Sean Payton selling at 2.3k, and I would just look through and take a look at some of the most popular teams when it comes to coaches, when it comes to stadiums. You can do the exact same thing. We'll see how much the Cowboy Stadium is selling for right now. It's selling for around 4,000 coins. You guys could take a look at the exact same teams. Just look at popular teams and see how much their stadiums, their coaches, their playbooks, their uniforms, all of that stuff is selling for, and you just want to find opportunities where these cards are going to be selling for 3,000 coins or more. And once you've written down all the opportunities or all the cards that are selling for 3k or more, that's when you hop back into the training currency and you start to rip some of the packs. So that's where I'm going to go in just a second. I just want to keep on showing you guys how many of these stadiums, how many of these coaches are selling for 3k or more, and each of these is going to be an opportunity for you to open up the pack and select one of these options, because they're all going to be pretty profitable and they're all going to be able to make you free training basically if you select any of these. So let's just take a look at the Saints as the final one, selling at 4,000 coins. Basically every single thing we looked at was selling for 3k or more. And let me just show you guys the math on this method before I actually hop in and start ripping the packs, just so you guys can see how lucrative this really is. Now the math on this method is pretty simple, to be honest with you guys, and for the sake of the video, let's assume that everything we pull is going for 3,000 coins. I know you can choose stuff that goes for a little bit more than that, but again, to keep it simple, we'll say everything is going for 3k. So assuming every item is going for 3k, that means you're going to need to open up these packs 20 times in order to pay back your initial investment of 60,000 coins, because 20 times 3,000 is going to equal 60k, and that means that when you open up the pack 20 times and sell everything you pull from it, you're going to be able to pay for your initial training investment. Now, once you've opened up the pack 20 times, the amount of training that's going to cost you, assuming you open up these most expensive packs, when we do 20 times 250, that gives us an answer of 5,000, meaning it's only going to cost us 5,000 training points to pay for our initial investment of 48,300 training. So you're going to be left with a free 43,000 training points, just like that. It is that easy. So now essentially what I'm going to do, once I figured out which stadiums, which coaches are going to be the most expensive, is where the tedious part comes in. We're going to need to open up these packs 20 times. You guys can choose whichever uniforms or whichever coaches you took a look at and ended up being expensive. And when you find some of the stadiums or the coaches that you looked at before, just select them. In my opinion, it's good to have a little bit of variety. I wouldn't select the same stadium every time. You could select one stadium like 2 or 3 times, but I wouldn't take it more than like 3 or 4 times, just because sometimes there's not a ton of buyers in the auction house. But the reason why I was showing you guys the coaches, the stadiums, the uniforms, the playbooks, is because there's so many opportunities to find expensive cards. You guys don't need to just use the stadiums and the coaches. You guys can actually use other stuff. I didn't even take a look at the playbooks in this, but I know there's some really expensive playbooks, some of which are going to be going for like 5 or 6k, so those would be good opportunities as well. Also, the Color Rush uniforms are also selling at a pretty solid price, so again, you could take a look at that as well. But all I would be doing is I would be opening this pack up 20 times. I'm not going to bore you guys with me opening this up 20 times, and we're just selecting some of the cards that we took a look at before and that we know we're selling for a pretty solid price. And again, if you pick cards and each of them goes for 3,000 coins, which isn't even that much, because there's going to be some cards in here that are going to go for way more than that, but if you get them and they sell for 3,000 coins, again, you only need to open up these packs 20 times, and then you're going to make back your initial investment of the 60k for the training points, and you're going to be left with about 40,000 training absolutely free. It is that easy. We'll take a look at Andy Reid right here, and I'm assuming basically every single card we select out of this is going to be going for a pretty solid price of 3,000 coins or more. And I'll also take a look at some of these playbooks. I actually didn't take a look at them in the video, but I'm pretty confident that I know which one of these are going to be pretty expensive. So we'll just take a look at this playbook pack, and we'll take a look at the prices of some of these playbooks in my item binder. I know the Pats playbook is going to be pretty solidly expensive on offense as well as the Raiders. Both of those are going to be pretty good, so we'll select the Patriots right here. And on the defensive side of the ball, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins, the Packers, and the Jets should be pretty pricey, so we'll open up one of these defensive playbooks, and then what I'm going to do again is just hop into my item binder and start selling off some of these cards. I know this is pretty basic at the end of the video, but I do want to give you guys the best explanation possible for this. Again, it's a very, very simple method though. I hope you guys are able to make tons and tons of free training off of this. I will select the Dolphins one. I'm pretty sure that's decently pricey. And again, I didn't even take a look at some of these uniforms. Some of the uniforms will be pretty pricey. If you guys take a look at these base uniforms, some of them are decently expensive. And then if you want, you can also take a look at the Color Rush uniforms, because those are also going to be working pretty well for you. Although the Color Rush uniforms cost a little bit more, they're still going to be selling for around that 3,000 coin threshold, which is really good. And it's going to allow you to only have to open up the pack 20 times. As you can see, we already opened it up 5 times, so we're about a quarter of the way through. The Cowboys uniform, or the Cowboys Stadium right here, selling at 4,000 coins. That's absolutely perfect. I feel like we already looked at these other uniforms and coaches, so I'm not going to take a look at searching those. So we'll take a look at these playbooks right here just to show you guys that these are also selling for around 3k. As you can see, the Pats playbook selling at 3,000 right there. And then we'll take a look at Dolphins defense, and then I'll probably head out. This is honestly a very easy method. Dolphins defense is a little bit cheaper than I was expecting, but that's I guess what you get for not even taking a look at the prices. Again, I would recommend you take a look at the prices before you do this method, but all these coaches, all these stadiums, they're all going to be selling at a pretty solid price. Now, the reason why they're so expensive right now is because people are starting to build theme teams, and when you build a theme team, it's really opportune that you use a gold coach, coach or a gold stadium, because you can actually get some additional boosts from them. As you guys can see right here, I'll just show you guys my stadium. I'm using the Saint Stadium, and you can actually put chemistries on it when you get the gold edition, and that's why some of these stadiums and coaches are a little bit more pricey right now. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Definitely a really easy free training method. You can make about 40,000 training points in not even that long. We only opened up the packs for about 1 or 2 minutes, so you guys could use obviously more time. Then you'd be opening up those packs 20 times each, sell each card that you get for 3,000 coins, and then you're gonna be making about 45,000 training, or about 43,000 training every single time you do this method. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and until next time, fellas, I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
So